Hello, and welcome back to Helluva Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Audie. The O is silent.
And today we are finally at Ozzy's.
Finally! The episode we've been wanting to get to since we started, basically.
Yeah, which is so funny because a lot of the stuff that we were like, we'll talk about that more in Ozzy's is not relevant.
No, not even a little bit. And also, like, so much more has happened since Ozzy's.
Yeah.
I think it's still currently, like, a very pivotal point in the series, but, like, there's already so much more beyond it, so
yeah,
we're already, like, counting down till another episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Because, like, Ozzy's introduces everything, essentially, that we're talking about now.
Yeah, it ties in, like, a lot of the things that the show has been hinting at so far, but not, like, outright saying. And then we get more, like, direct answers about those things in, like, season 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just, like, especially, like, Fizz and Ozzy stuff in season 2 has been crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we expected to get that much from them at all.
No. I thought it would be a while if we got anything, so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, should we just freaking go for it?
Yeah.
Also, I'm a little sniffly.
I am too.
I'm gonna try not to sniffle into the microphone.
I was really tempted to just go really close and sniffle. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We both have a little cold.
A little cold. For, like, the third fucking time.
Yeah.
But anyway. Let's go!
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So we, open... Well, I mean, I think we opened with them, like, coming through a portal from the human world after killing a bunch of lumberjacks.
Yeah.
But then we find out it's Millie and Moxie's 1-year marriage anniversary.
Oh.
Which just... I mean, I think this is, like, the first point in the series we get any, like, outright, like, confirmation of how long they've been together.
Yeah.
But it opens even more questions of, like, when did they meet? How long were they together?
How long did it take them to get married?
Yeah. And also they're so cute.
Yeah, we have a note that says they're so cute. Oh wee.
Yeah. Is our like general working theory that they meet at IMP?
I think mine is not.
There's not really much like evidence towards it one way or another, but
yeah, that's the thing. I feel like that would make sense. Mm-hmm. But also I feel like I don't know if they would have met at a... Well, maybe, because I was going to say, I feel like maybe Moxie got Millie into the company just because, like, other than Millie, it is Blitz and Moxie who were besties at the time.
Yeah.
And Luna, who's his daughter. So I feel like it would have been hard to get in, but also Millie's just so slay-ass, so maybe she just found it on her own.
Yeah, maybe, like, she saved Blitz's life at one point, just like on the streets at some point, and he was like, hey, I got a company. Yeah, I really want to know how Blitz met Millie.
Yeah, me too.
Because, yeah, we know how he met Moxie, he adopted Luna, like, Millie's the only person we don't know how she got there.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be, I don't know how her and Moxie would have met otherwise, is the thing. Especially since, like, Moxie went supposedly straight from the Mafia to prison to working at IMP.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Millie would have been working there yet.
No,
but
I don't think so.
I think Moxie definitely started there first, but I don't know.
Yeah. Would Millie have been in, like, the area, is the thing?
I don't know, because she's from Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
IMP is in Pride.
Like, is it possible that she left her family for a little while because she is, like, the less honored one, I guess?
It's possible. A thought just crossed my mind. Is the prison that Moxie goes to in X's and O's when we see it is that prison in the Greed Ring? Because if so, why would Blitz be there? I mean, he could have any number of reasons for being there, but, like...
Blitz also, like, they used to do business on Hell, I say. In Hell. So, like, it's very possible he just was killing someone in Greed and got caught.
That's true. But also...
No, that is fascinating. Also, would they have prisons in Greed? Is that a Greed thing to have?
I feel like they probably have one in every circle.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, like, it doesn't seem like everyone is regularly, like, going between the rings. Like, people have permanent residency in specific rings.
But they don't have a hospital in every ring, do they? Isn't that the whole thing?
Oh, that's a good point. Because they go...
So the rings, that actually proves the rings must be very accessible.
Yeah, which we'll talk about traveling between the rings later. Yeah, but I don't know. Also, do we know that this is getting into not even the right thing. Moving on. Unless you had more to say about Millie and Moxie. I was going to fully talk about something that's only X's and O's related. And
we'll talk about it in X's and O's.
Yeah.
I just love them. They're cute. They've been they've been married a year.
For a year. I want to know how Moxie proposed.
Also, I want to know how in advance Moxie... Like, did Moxie make this reservation, like, the week after they got married?
Oh, not to reference The Office, because, like, The Office is, like, fine. You know, it's whatever. It's stupid. No offense. But I have seen all of it. And one thing from The Office that I've always thought was really cute is that Jim, after, like, when he finally proposes to Pam after they've been dating for, like, years at that point, you find out that he bought the ring 2 weeks after they started dating. Oh. And that is so Moxie.
That is so Moxie. He's like, this is the one.
Yeah.
But is it so, like, would Moxie do that after everything with Chaz? Depends how long it was between dating, I think.
Yeah, and also, he really loves that woman.
He does.
You know, I feel like...
She pegs him.
She pegs him.
She pegged him once. He was like, sold.
Moxie didn't know what sex could be, and she opened so many doors for him, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go to K Jewelers real quick. Yeah. Or what's the hell equivalent of K Jewelers?
Hell Jewelers, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sin Jewelers? I don't know.
Sin. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to think that he does that, though.
Yes.
Okay. Blitz really wants to be close with these bitches. Like, an unhealthy amount.
Yeah.
He, I think this really shows his dynamic of, like, he doesn't know how to be close to people in a platonic way, so he fucking makes it weird.
Yeah. And yeah, and like not even, I mean, yes, in a platonic way, but just in general, motherfucker doesn't know how to be close to people. Yeah. Because like him and Fizz were close, and we know pretty certainly now that they didn't have anything romantic growing up.
Yeah, nothing like with a label.
Yeah. So he just sees these two bitches that he cares about very much, and he's like, I'm going to insert myself into this dynamic.
He's also just like, we'll talk about this more, we've already talked about this quite a bit with Truth Seekers, but he, I feel like, doesn't see himself ever having a romantic label because he feels like cursed. Yeah. Because like the one ever single time he tried to, with someone he truly loves, like I know there's Veronica too, and that's like a whole other thing. Yeah. I just feel like he's probably mostly turned away from the idea. Yeah. And also, I think part of this dynamic is Blitz feeling like if he's away from them, then he's going, like, they're gonna turn against him. Like, they're gonna, like, if he lets them spend time alone, then things are gonna go badly. Like, he's gonna be cut out of their lives, which is not true. He's just really mentally ill. Yeah. I'd be curious to know how that relates to him and Fizz as children, because he was likely excluded from a lot of things that Fizz was doing. Like, Fizz would have wanted him there, but, like, because Fizz was the star and Blitz was not. Yeah. I wonder how that plays into him going to see Stolas, too, as a kid. Like, Blitz going. Yeah. 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 So much. Also, the eel tank. To segue. Yeah. Back in Murder Family, when Moxie like shoots the thing and it ricochets and then it hits the eel tank and then all the eels come out of the tank. Yeah, the eel tank is empty now, which is just a funny little animated detail. I love animated details. Helluva Boss is really good at it. They are, yeah. BoJack Horseman is very good at it. Fucking love BoJack Horseman. Third podcast idea. The number of animated gags in BoJack Horseman, like, is
you could fill a book with them.
Yeah, this is also barely an animated gag, but the elephant one never leaves my brain.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the elephant in the room? Wow. That's a little intermission for our BoJack fans.
Yeah. But Ozzy's, the restaurant, has, like, a lot of circus imagery and, like, vibes going on, which is interesting, because it's not, like, Fizz's place.
Yeah.
It's Ozzy's place.
And it's in the Lust, so it's not... The circus scene, I wouldn't imagine, is big in Lust.
Yeah. I mean, Ozzy's is also, like... They have performers there and stuff, so it makes sense that they'd lean into that whole aspect.
Actually, especially given if this is, like... Because I feel like it's a metaphor for performers in general. Like, I'm leaning more into that rather than it being, like, showbiz LA.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's definitely shown... Like, the parallels of that is definitely shown in Seeing Stars. But also, I feel like the circus, first of all, just has inherent... It is a circus.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of detail and research that had to go into them making that so accurate is wonderful. But also, I feel like it parallels, like, the theater world and, like, singers and, like, all kinds of performers a lot.
Yeah.
And so, that makes sense. Sorry, that was so many words to say such a little thing.
You're real. And there's also, like, fire around.
And is it green fire? Or no, because
it's whatever. Lust is blue?
Blue, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Blue fire.
Blue fire, yeah.
But, yeah, that... It's like foreshadowing.
Yeah. They love throwing Fizz on screen when there's fire, even anywhere in the shot.
God, they hate us. Hate us, want us dead.
Hate us, want us dead. I cannot believe, going back to, like, Lululand, that the idea that Blitz and Fizz's scars came from a fire. I cannot believe that wasn't, like, the theory.
Yeah. I don't know if that's us being stupid or if that's Vivzy being really fucking smart and good at, like, layering and shit.
It's, like, really good foreshadowing that doesn't seem like foreshadowing, which Vivzy is so good at.
I feel like also, too, we should note that, because this is something we noticed, is, like, most of the first episodes are actually co-written. From Vivzy and Brandon.
I thought it was the later episodes.
Oh, is it the later episodes?
I think so.
Don't quote me. This is it's later in our notes, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
But that's something we noticed, and I want to analyze why. I want to put it under a microscope.
Yeah, and I want to look for any, like, differences between the ones that are, like, just Vivzy and then the ones that are Vivzy and Brandon.
Yeah. And are Vivzy and Brandon besties? Because it seems like they are.
I mean,
social media wise,
it seems like it. Yeah.
Which that's so cute.
It is. It's adorable. I don't know if they knew each other before Helluva started.
I mean, because Vivzy was already a YouTuber, right? And Brandon was a YouTuber. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Very, like, different corners of YouTube. Like, he did, like, skits and sketches and stuff, and she did, like, little, like, animatics and things. Not little, like, impressive animatics. But yeah, it's possible. Even, like, at, like, VidCon or something. Although I don't know how far back in the day we're talking, so maybe not, but you know.
Next fucking bonus episode, us psychoanalyzing Vivzy and Brandon's relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, and about Ozzy's too, the color palette.
Oh, it fucks.
It's so good.
Last episode in Truth Seekers, we were talking about how the color palette sucked.
Yeah,
Ozzy's, it's beautiful. I really love the distinctions between, like, all of the rings, like, how they're all portrayed. Like, with the color palettes and, like, the I don't know, just the distinct designs that are in each ring.
There's so much world building and it's so consistent. And I can't say that about a lot of shows.
Yeah.
This one's really fucking good.
It's really good.
Like this and this might, I might only be comparing this, it might be far just because I just watched it for the first time, but Infinity Train in this, the world building, I feel like, it's not similar at all, but, like, the way that, like, things are so consistent. Yeah. Like, they don't fuck around. There's not, like, inconsistencies.
Yeah. But it's really good because it still leaves open ends and questions that go unanswered. Like, you know, they don't tell you absolutely everything about every ring. Right. They don't tell you everything about the train and Infinity Train. Exactly, but they give you enough to know, like, what the vibe is and, like, to know what the rules are and how things work. And it's like, really, really good. World building. It's really
they
good.
Also give you enough to, like, understand that, but not enough so that you're not surprised or, like, really intrigued when something is unfolding.
Yeah.
So, like for example, we shouldn't be talking about Infinity Train, we should be talking about Helluva, but for example...
The next podcast.
Yeah, the fourth.
Yeah.
In Infinity Train, like, the mirror dimension and, like, the like, justice system and all of that on the train.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of hinted at a little bit in the earlier seasons, but at the earlier season.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's... Like, I was so intrigued when it was unfolding.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Holy shit, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And then they, like, hint at... With, like... They hint at the... What are they? The kids.
The Apex.
The Apex.
Yeah.
And then they get into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Helluva does that, too.
Yeah. It's more... I feel clear in Infinity Train almost because it's, like, an anthology series.
Yeah.
Where it follows a different character every season. So they'll, like, drop... like little details in one season and then expand on it in the next season or like 2 seasons later even. But Helluva does that not in quite the same way, but like for sure.
Especially with all the different characters, like it is centered around Blitz and it is all like all the plots are definitely plots based on other characters that affect Blitz. Like it's all based on like relationships and their lives and all that. But I feel like the way they stack it up, it's like they give you enough to understand the characters' motives and stuff, but not enough so that when you watch the next episode with the backstory or whatever may have you, that you're not like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah. I know we have a lot to get through in this episode, but can I bring up it's Helluva related, but a tangent.
Yeah.
I've seen this meme going around lately about Helluva from people who don't watch the show.
Right.
Where it's like... new Helluva boss script just dropped, and it's like, I'm gonna fuck you in the fucking ass. You fucking asshole, fuck you. You bitch, whore, bitch, cunt, fuck you. And it's just like deliberately, like, shit, vulgar writing. And I don't know, I just wanted to bring that up because, like, I feel like, I mean, it's a show that's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
For sure. And, like, without really knowing what's going on, I could see why people would get that impression. And I don't want to say that it's like, you know, like the dialogue is necessarily like a master class at any given moment, but... And
to be fair, that is what a lot of Blitz's lines sound like, but it's just Blitz, and I feel like what if you have just one character like that, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was... they did make me laugh, to be clear, the memes. I was like, it's kind of true, but like not in like, not that it discounts any other elements of the show or anything. I thought it was funny, and worth mentioning, because I think it's interesting to talk about, like, and obviously we're not immune to, like, criticizing the show.
Yeah.
If we had to. And I'm not saying that it's an actual, like, critique I have. I just think it's, like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
I thought you were gonna hop into you linguistics student. I thought you were gonna hop into, like, the way... Like, the vernaculars that the characters speak in. Because that's where my brain went.
Oh. I mean, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. But that's kind of... I don't know. That's a different tangent.
Other side note, your laptop is, like, about to die.
We're so prepared for this, can you tell?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my charger, and we'll be back in, like... It'll be a second for you, not even.
Yeah.
Okay, after technical difficulties, we are back.
We are so back.
We are so back.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's all we really had to say about that whole thing. So,
yeah.
I mean, unless you had more to say about it. I just wanted to, like, bring it up. I didn't...
Yeah, I'm sure we could get a lot more into it.
Yeah.
Also, just another small thing about, like, the critiques about Helluva. Like, some of them are valid, I'll give that. But I feel like people that don't like Helluva, one, have seen none, if not, like, a small clip on YouTube of it. Like, they don't actually give it a try. Yeah. And two, they are so intense, in my experience. Like, people who don't like Helluva are so intense in their opinion.
Yeah, and, like, people, if you don't like something, you're allowed to not like it. And you're even allowed to be intense about it as well. Like, I mean, you know, you shouldn't be an asshole about it, but, like, you're entitled to have that opinion and, like, those feelings.
Yeah. It's just personally annoying to me when it's like, this is such a beautiful piece of media, in my opinion, and people will, like, not give it a try at all.
Yeah,
and
it is frustrating.
They're like, I hate it, it's so stupid, it has no core. And it's like, oh, well, actually, it has all the... No. Yeah, it's like, okay.
I do see the critiques, and I do see it's very much like a polarizing show. Like, it's not gonna be for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people I wouldn't recommend it to, just point blank. And if it's not, like, something that you're entirely into, then, like, you're not gonna want to give it, like, the amount of time necessary to get it, you know? Like, I mean, the first few episodes are, like, fine. Yeah. Like, they get better when you know, like, why they happened that way.
Yeah.
But, like, when I was just watching the show through for the first time, I didn't think the first 3-4 episodes were particularly groundbreaking or anything. So, like...
Let me be clear, too. I'm not saying, like, people who just watch the first few episodes and then drop out, because that's real. I'm talking people who do not watch any of the episodes.
No, yeah. I think generally having an opinion on something and not knowing about it, like, you're entitled to do that. Like, you're well within your right, but also there's a good chance you are missing things, and I feel like I don't know. I think it's good to acknowledge that. Like, there are pieces of media that I have never watched or interacted with, and I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And, like, yeah, I'm probably missing some substance in it, but, like, I'm not gonna give it a try, and I'm allowed to feel that way.
No, you are.
And people are allowed to feel that way about Helluva.
No, that's true.
It's just annoying.
I think just the hate, like, with people who just literally don't know anything about the show, in this, like, specifically about the show online, is so prevalent.
It really is.
Like, I'll see posts, and it will be, like, half hate comments, and then people will be like, well, like, it makes sense given this, like, episode, and they'll be like, I haven't seen any of the show.
Yeah, and it's, like, yeah, you know, you do you.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I didn't, like, prepare a lot of thoughts on this, because I saw one of the memes last night, and I was like, that's something that could be good to bring up, and then I forgot until this moment.
Yeah.
So I didn't, like, I haven't got my thoughts in order about it, really, but, like, I don't know, I just think it's interesting, and it'd be interesting, maybe not even for this podcast, if we brought back AA discussions for a one-off or something, because it's more about media in general, but, like, how media is perceived online, and, like, the culture around, like, viewing and interacting with media online, I think would be really interesting to talk about.
It would be really interesting.
And we could relate that to Helluva, but also to, like, a shit ton of other things.
Yeah. Hear me out. We started an essay series.
Yeah.
In conclusion, we're crazy and should get back on topic.
Yes. Blitz crosses his little arms is the next bullet point.
He does. It's when he gets thrown out and he gets thrown in the dumpster. Gets thrown out of Aussies. He literally, like, goes,
yeah,
and crosses his arms.
Yeah, and then he makes his I'm gonna use Stolas face.
Yes, the face that when else do we see that? We see that in the circus.
Yeah, in the circus when he's trying to get the grimoire. Yeah. He's like, well, I mean,
his little eyebrow raise, his little.
Yeah, he, like, bites his lip.
Yeah.
His face gets all scrunchy. He's like, ah ha ha.
I'm sure most of the listeners know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, but we'll put it on the Insta story.
Yeah. And the newsletter. Which definitely should have come out today. Or yesterday.
Oops. Well, we forgot about that.
We'll start it at the start of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. We said last week that we'd start it in December, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but we've been sick, and it's finals.
And Thanksgiving break happened.
Yeah.
And that was the plan. It's no longer the plan.
Yeah, we're gonna do it at the start of the year.
Sorry, I'm drinking a juice box.
A Capri Sun, specifically, we're cultured. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Promise we're not gonna be inconsistent with it regularly. We will figure that out. Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, shit's been crazy.
It's been wild. But yeah.
You wanna take this one?
Yeah. So we have bullet point. Stolas is so depressed.
Yes.
I feel that doesn't really need elaboration.
No.
But then, like, a sub bullet point under that is just depressed ass moan.
Yeah.
In which he goes, oh.
Which have we talked about? Which we can talk more about this when we get to what episode is that? The circus.
Yeah.
But did we talk about how you were Stolas one time in my project?
Oh my god, no. Alex did a like film project.
Yeah.
Where you had to, like, take a scene, or no, you didn't have to.
But I was reenacting a scene because I didn't have a lot of time and I didn't want to write dialogue.
Yeah. So it was the scene from the end of the circus after Stolas finishes his gay little ballad, and then him and Stella have, like, the big argument. It was that scene, and I played Stolas.
Yeah.
And I got to be so fucking dramatic and depressed and gay and angsty, and it was really fun.
And there's a clip, like, it's literally just this, because I remember I had to move the camera for it and, like, make it closer to you. Mm-hmm. And it's a clip, and it's just Audie sitting down dramatically and going,
oh, yeah, and I wanted to get more dramatic with it, but that wouldn't have, like, fit the tone or whatever.
Or whatever.
I wanted to, like fully collapse into the chair and, like, put my head in my hands.
What do you mean that wouldn't have fit the tone?
I don't know. But yeah, I have too much in common with that owl man.
Yeah.
I will
He's gay, he's depressed.
He's gay, he's depressed, he's autistic. That's, like, 3 things that I also am.
Yeah, so therefore kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he also... I mean, this also feels related to the depression. He regularly watches a Helluva.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, great pun. Helluva. That's so
is.
Good. But we say regularly watches because he knows this woman's name is Gabriella.
Yeah.
Like, he turns the show on and immediately he's like, that's a mood, Gabriella.
Yeah, and he knows exactly what's going on, too, it seems. Like, he must know their relationship.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, between the two characters.
Yeah. Do you want to take the next bullet point? Because I believe you wrote that one. This one.
No, that was you in the notes.
That was me?
Yeah, that was you.
Oh. I don't remember.
I can take it if you want, though.
I mean, you could, yeah, go for it.
This was you, though, because you pause it and go... Well, I might have said it. You wrote it, though.
Okay.
But anyway, Solus would love Heather's the Musical.
Yeah.
He would love everything. He would love Candy Store so fucking much. I think you wrote specifically the pulling on my dick line.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think that Helluva novella might be a comfort show.
Yeah.
Meaning that every time this bitch is sad, which is regularly, he puts on Helluva novella. How many times do you think he's watched?
He takes his silly little happy pills, he turns on the TV, and he has the cereal every time.
Specifically Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms in his bathrobe or whatever. Yeah. This is, like, every night.
Yeah. So true. Every weekend, probably, when Via's gone.
Oh, why would you say that? Yeah.
The next bullet point.
Along with being very depressed, he's also extremely gay. He gets the phone call, and also, like, the smoke from the phone spells out Blitz or Blitzy.
Blitzy is calling.
Yeah. And he chokes on his Lucky Charms, falls over,
spills them all over the ground.
Loses his goddamn mind. And then goes, hello, Blitzy.
Literal hearts in his eyes when he asks about the date.
Literal hearts in his eyes, blushing. Blitz is like, how soon can you get here? And he's like, I could be there, like, right fucking now, you dumb bitch. I'll be there in 5 seconds.
No, he says I'll be there in 20. 20 is not to get there. 20 is to get his gay ass ready.
Yes.
Which is so funny.
Oh, yeah, because he just opens a portal.
Yeah.
He's like, I need 20 minutes to change my outfit, put some makeup on.
Put on my different gay little cape.
Yeah. He does canonically have makeup on.
Yes,
we see
he
his
does.
mascara or eyeliner running or whatever later.
Yeah, and he powders his face.
He powders his face. He's so gay and he's so silly and sweet.
And the way he walks out, and he's like, hi, Blitz.
Hi, Blitzy. Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah, this is you.
This is my magnum opus. I was, like... I don't remember when I first had this thought. I think it might have been when I watched The Circus for the first time that I made this connection, that Flitz and Stolas is something that can be so When He Sees Me from Waitress the Musical, and I would like to fully elaborate on that point because I have a lot of I'm gonna pull up the lyrics and just go through not like every single line, but you know, I want to give it my full attention. So the first and by the way, I'm gonna just assume for my own sanity that you're familiar with the song, because we don't have time for me to just explain the entire song.
Yeah.
First verse, I stick with real things, blah, blah, blah. So Stolas, he's so autistic.
Yeah.
He likes when information is in its place. He likes minimizing the guessing game. He does not like guessing games.
No.
And he doesn't like when he feels things before he knows the feelings.
Yeah.
Because then how is he supposed to operate if he's just tossed around by fate, like on an unexpected date at Ozzy's?
So
where
true.
Blitz calls him to Ozzy's, right? And then with a stranger who might talk too fast, this whole part, it's like, I've planned out the animatic / like AMV in my head down to the millisecond. I have it all mapped out in my brain, and I don't really know how to explain it because it's just like a visual, but this whole part, the like ask me questions about myself, that whole part that goes on and on there, it's the intricacies are too you could never comprehend them. But when I make the AMV one day, you will see. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it without, like, really explaining it.
Maybe one of the newsletters will entail an entire lyric breakdown
essay
about how this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, what if when he sees me, what if he doesn't like it? What if he runs the other way and I can't hide from it?
Yeah, so true.
What if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it? What if he opens up a door and I can't close it? I
can't get more real than that.
You really can, and it's
yeah, it's so them.
It's so them.
Audie has also just texted me screenshots of verses from this song, but from a lot of other songs too, being like, this is so Blitz and Stolz. I'll be like working and I'll just get a text and I'll see like 3 screenshots. I'll be like, oh boy.
Because sometimes I'll be, not just to you in general, I'll be like, this song is so this character. And, like, someone will be like, yeah, I see it. But I don't always have faith that they see the vision, so I have to be like, no, look. Yeah. I highlight it. I get out, like, my color coding key, and I'm like, okay, see, so this line is this character, and this line is this event, and I have to, like, break it down for them. And I would love to do that with this song. Yes. So, in the newsletter, maybe. That'd be really cool.
That would be really cool. Also, I do just want to say that we did have, like, one time, like, a 3-hour conversation. Not 3-hour, but a solid at least hour conversation over text that started with that kind of thing, and then ended up talking about what each character's birthday dinner was as a child.
Yeah.
And yeah, we go crazy.
We do. We go all over the place.
Yeah.
Only hardcore analysis on Helluva podcast.
This is Blitz and Stolz's first date ever, which is worth noting. I think also the unexpected date line hits way different too, because it's like it's their first and only at this point. Date ever.
Yeah. And it's also not really, like, a date. On Blitz's end.
No, it's not, and that's so fucked up.
By the way, I meant to say, what the fuck was he planning to do by following Millie and Moxie here? I don't understand
it either.
Like, I understand his, like, personal motivations, but I don't know what the goal or intended outcome was.
Yeah. And also, it's not like he was trying to protect them from anything at Ozzy's, because he didn't know, unless he were, like, we have no proof to think that he would know that anyone else was there. That he didn't like anyone enough, and he didn't know that Fizz was there. So it's not that. So I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird.
It's really weird. I'm curious if Vivzie herself knows what his goal was.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Was he literally just there to, like, stare at them?
Like, I think so. I think that's probably as far as his thing went. And, like, his thought process literally might have gone as far as, like, I can't let them, like, be alone and talk shit about me. Which is crazy.
Or just let them have a closeness that he can't be a part of.
Yeah. Like, I can't let them slip away from me, essentially.
Yeah.
And it might, like, that might just be going through his head, and, like, he's not actually thinking about his actions, he's just, everything's motivated by that.
I mean, I'm wondering if he was going to, like, if things had gone differently, if he was going to try and interfere with their date. Like, like, if he was, like, waiting for the moment to, like, go up to them and be like, hey, let's get another bottle over here, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's a fella. He's a character.
Yeah, I think also, too, like, part of it, he definitely very strongly wanted to, like, spy on them and stuff, but also I'd be willing to bet that part of the whole, like, getting into Ozzy's thing was just spite, because he was like, well, I can get a man. Fuck
yeah.
you.
Yeah. He, like, had, like, a new side quest unlocked.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, hang on. You're not gonna let me into Ozzy's? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Stolas!
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Also, did we talk about, Stolas being extremely gay as they walked into Ozzy's, where he's like, oh no, but yes.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
I don't have anything else to say about it. He's just such a gay boy.
Yeah, he's so queer.
Yeah. He is a word that starts with F, and I don't mean fruity.
Well, that too.
well, yeah, that's.
He's a whole fruit salad.
He's a fruit bowl.
Fruit bowl.
He's
like you painting class.
He's a bowl made of fruit that has more fruit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
The next thing we have is just a very big General Millie and Moxie note, because they're fucking cute as hell.
Yeah. For, like, throughout, like, just to focus on everything that Millie and Moxie do for the rest of the episode, basically. So jumping a little out of order.
Yes.
But Moxie wearing his little bow tie.
It's red. It's always black, but it's red in this, right?
No, it's the reverse.
Oh, switch that.
His bow tie's always red. Is it black in this, or is it red?
I don't know.
I don't remember. He's got a bow tie. He always has a bow tie. But
he does always have a bow tie, but he's cute.
He's adorable.
His little fit's cute. Their little fits are cute.
Yeah, they're a little matchy fit.
I'm gonna look up real quick what his bow tie is.
Yeah, there are instances where he has the black bow tie. I don't remember if this is one of them.
One of them is
Harvest Moon.
Yes. I leaned away from the mic.
Yeah, one of them is Harvest Moon, which I think are, like, working theories that the black bow tie is more to, like, impress / like, fit in. More like he wanted to impress Millie's parents, so he was wearing the black bow tie. And there was one other instance. Was it the bad trip sequence?
Yes.
I think it was the bad trip.
Because he's black and white in that, right?
Well, partly.
Yeah.
I mean, in his bad trip, though.
Oh, yes, also that. Sorry, I have ads. I'm pulling up Aussies.
You're good. Yeah, I think that might be the other one, but I'm pretty sure it is red in this one, which, like, I think our initial theory was that the black bow tie was for more, like, formal occasions, special events. Red. Yeah. But then it is red, so I think it's more just, like, he's more comfortable in it, and he's, like, he's with his Millie, and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he sings the cutest fucking song on the fucking planet.
Because they're so in love.
They're so in love.
Oh, that's literally the next bullet point.
Yeah. I love his little... Like, when he goes up on stage and he takes the microphone, he's like, hi. It's so cute.
He is so cute.
He was made for the stage, honestly.
He was. He's the bestest boy.
He is. But then, moving forward a little bit to when Fizz and Ozzy appear and ruin his fucking song.
Right.
I think he, like, fully gulps when they appear behind him. He's like, yipes.
He's so scared.
He's so scared. And within reason.
Yeah.
I mean, at least of Ozzy.
Yeah. But he's just so, like, every single thing they do, he's like...
God.
He's so scared of everything, poor little baby.
But then he still keeps singing the song his way, even when they're like, butt stuff, piss play, bondage, and then he's like, no, shut up.
Yeah.
Me and my wife do what we want.
Yeah. So true.
I only get pegged sometimes.
Yeah. The don't have to pretend to like to do things we don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so sweet. Both like just for Millie and Moxie, like it's really cute and like great for them, but also for that line to be in the show and like like the show, it doesn't like no pun intended demonize like, you know, sexual things like like, I mean, it kind of makes, like, kinks and stuff, like, the butt of the joke a lot of the times, but it's not saying, like, that's gross and bad. It's just saying, like, you can do what you're comfortable with and whatnot. And I think it's cool. I
think also, and this might be better, because we probably, this episode won't get into actual Fizz and Ozzy stuff, because that's later in our notes.
Yeah.
But, so this might be a little for later, but... I think the idea of Ozzy trying to shut him down, and also the idea of lust not being an inherently bad thing, like Lust being about passion and like things like that, but then also them shaming Moxie for like this is so interesting.
I think that has to do with Ozzy and Fizz having their little secret where like well, because I mean Lust is it is passion, but it is predominantly a sexual thing in this context. And so I think like them like Ozzy being expected to shut Moxie down and be like, hey, this is like wholesome and like loving and not based on pure lust, like that makes sense. But it also I feel like we're gonna start seeing that shift because that's not the ideal that Ozzy necessarily wants to represent.
So I think this episode probably was a really big moving point for him as a person.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
The whole Ozzy and Fizz dynamic is so interesting, but I feel like we'll get into that.
You'll get into that later. Yeah. Also, the don't have to pretend to like things that we don't. Sexual trauma. Who said that? Is the next bullet point.
Yeah, who said that?
Because I mean, we know with Moxie, obviously.
Yeah.
But then like Millie too also dated Chaz.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder how many have they had conversations about that? Is that do they? I can hear someone outside of my door, but they're definitely gonna hear what I'm about to say. But do they like have sex in certain ways because of like the trauma and like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it all like definitely plays into it.
No, yeah.
So like
100%
is like having like is one of the biggest things in the relationship having that communication and not having to do things they don't like. Is that one of the biggest parts of it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Hard shift.
Hard shift. I also when Millie like fully like lands on top of Fizz and is like, I think you were trying to sing something for me, Mox. So he asked for no pickles energy.
He asked for no pickles.
No fucking pickles.
I think you were trying to sing something for me, Mox. I can't do an accent. Don't.
I think you were trying to sing something for me, Mox.
Good.
Yeah, I was. They're so cute. And then they proceed to have the only, like, we've been calling them romantic kisses.
Not full, like,
yeah, like, when we see, like, in the previous episode, Blitz and Stolas, their tongues, like, intertwine, and it's a weird thing, but this is the first, like, romantic kiss.
Just, like, gentle.
That's, like, it's a kiss for the purposes of love, I feel.
As opposed to for lust.
Yeah. And then we see this again later with Fizz and Ozzy, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. But that was very recent. So up until very recently, this is the only time we've seen a kiss.
Yeah,
like
and then
that.
Also for all of season 1.
For all of season 1, yeah.
Yeah. This is our last little chunk of bullet point, probably. I'm checking time real quick.
Yeah, I feel like...
Because this is just a good stopping point we outlined. But Blitz and Stolas, when they sit down at the table...
Yeah.
So much happens in these, this minute.
So much happens, yeah. Blitz fully pulls out binoculars, first of all.
Millie Moxie.
Doop, doop, doop. Yeah. Which, how big is this restaurant that he needs binoculars?
He is just a little guy.
He is just a little guy. But, like, I don't know.
It must be pretty big. Like, it's like a whole performer venue.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be small.
Yeah. And it's very popular and classy, so it makes sense.
Has a shit ton of reservations, is always full. I'm assuming it's huge.
Yeah. And while Blitz has his binoculars trained
sitting on books, by the way.
Sitting on a pile of books, yeah.
So, like, someone at Ozzy's saw them coming in, saw that he was short as fuck, and put books in his seat because they go...
I don't think it's even that he's short. I think it's that Stolas is tall.
Yeah.
Because, like, most people there are, like, Blitz's size.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, hang on. They need to be at eye level.
Yeah. And they're also, like... Well, they're not at eye level. That's the funny part.
No, yeah. They're still not at eye level with the books.
But it's, like, the thing that's, like, oh, you got a hot date. I'm helping you out.
Yeah. Maybe they were trying to put him at dick-sucking level. I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, Blitz
the fact that him sitting in a chair normally is not Stolas' standing dick.
Yeah. So yeah, Blitz has, like, the binoculars trained on Millie and Moxie, and then Stolas is fighting for his fucking life, trying to make conversation.
So, Blitz,
how how was your day?
Yeah.
So me when I'm autistic and can't make small talk, honestly. And then more significantly, especially when we see the next episode, Queen Bee, when they, like, the waitress comes over to the table and asks, like, what drinks they want. Stolas is like, red wine, white wine, like, a secret third thing, I forget what he says. Perhaps champagne. All three. Champagne. Yeah. Granted, Blitz is, like, focused on Millie and Moxie and not really paying attention, but he's very, like, dismissive and is just, like, whatever to the alcohol being offered.
Not even just dismissive, but is very, like, I'd say it's more harsh. I don't remember exactly what he says. Is it whatever?
I think so.
Yeah, but he's got, like, tone. He's got tude there.
I think it also comes from him literally not listening.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like, I don't know, there's something else there, tone-wise. And then also, Queen Bee happens directly after this. Like, he relapses directly after this.
Yeah.
So you know he was fighting for his life not to say yes to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm really curious what his relationship with alcohol is post Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Like, did he, like, you know, like, quit again after that night, go back to being sober, or has he not done that yet?
Yeah.
Because in X's and O's, we see him questionably, maybe, possibly take a very small sip of the alcohol that Crimson gives him. It's unclear if he actually drinks any of it. Certainly not a lot of it, but...
Yeah. I would be really interested in that, too. Also, have we seen... Well, no, we definitely have. But, like, I wonder if Luna and him had a conversation, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't... Like, they're not a very conversation type of people, but, like, she calls him dad and tucks him in. Like, I feel like she talked to him. Yeah. After that.
I feel like after that, Blitz would have been a lot more dismissive, though. Like,
yeah, and Blitz probably... Like, I would also see maybe Blitz, like, going off and being like, I'm so sorry about what happened. And then that's it.
Yeah, and Luna trying to be like, you okay? And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm great. That was just, like, a fluke, like, you know. Yeah. Totally disregarding it. But hopefully Luna's the only person who knows, also. Yeah. Which is something.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. I want Luna and Octavia to talk more. Yeah. I want them to have a friendship that is based on something other than their fathers. Yeah. But I don't know. I think that would also be interesting if, like, Octavia found out from Luna that Blitz has been having problems, and then Octavia, like, relays that to Stolas, and then like I think that
would be so funny if that's how everything unfolds.
That's something that they could potentially be setting up now that I think about it.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Also, two things. One, Stolas 100% has drinking issues.
Yeah.
The fact that they both went and got drunk, canonically.
Yes, after Ozzy's, yeah.
And two, the fact that Stolas' drink of choice is wine is so gay.
It's so gay. Yeah. Wine and champagne were the two things he proposed. Like,
two types of wine, and then champagne.
Yeah.
White and red.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also we see him regularly drink red wine, and red wine is even more.
Yeah, we see him drink absinthe.
That's true.
in the circus.
He was going through it, okay.
He's always going through
it. That's true.
Yeah.
He's not always at a not divorced party with his wife that he wants to divorce, though.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting the very different yet similar ways in which Blitz and Stolas grew up, because, like, Stolas grew up royal. Like, his dad didn't give a shit about him. We don't know about his mom, but, like, he was royal. He was kind of able to do whatever the fuck he wanted, really. Like, he probably had access to things like alcohol from, like, way younger than he should have. And, like, even if people weren't giving it to him, he could just be like, all right, fuck you. And, like, take it, honestly. Right. Whereas with Blitz, like, he grew up in, like, a much shittier situation, but also with a dad who doesn't care. Mom that we see is out of the picture after the fire. Yep. And also doesn't seem to be... we don't see her at all before that. So, like, there could be some other reason why she's not around as much, like a sickness or something.
Yeah, or like if she's working a different part or isn't allowed to interfere, like it could be a similar situation to Moxie's.
Yeah.
But
we see, or we know for a fact that Blitz starts drinking when he's young. Yeah. Because in Oops, he's like, hey Fizz, remember when you used to distract my dad so I could go steal his booze? Yeah. Like at the most a teenager.
Yeah.
Possibly younger even.
Right. And then also, obviously Barbie has like different substance issues, which that riddles the question, did Blitz have different substance issues as well? I think drinking is definitely his main one, though. I
mean, yeah, he's made jokes / maybe not jokes, like in Truth Seekers, he's like, I took a lot of tranquilizers.
That's true.
In the college I dropped out of.
Yeah. But it's interesting, like, it makes me wonder...
Sorry. What? Did he have, like, horse tranquilizer? Was he, like... Did he go to, like, horse college?
He went to be in... What's it, equestrian?
Yeah, equestrian. And then he's like, oh, hang on a minute.
Or did he... Maybe it wasn't in the college he dropped out of. Maybe he fucking used a horse tranquilizer for fun in the circus.
Yeah. I really like to think he went to horse college. I don't know what that means, but
no, they have equestrian programs. Yeah, like, that's a thing.
I am gonna call it horse college.
Horse college, yeah, real.
Yeah.
No, it is quite interesting how similar and different they are, and I think that also talks in like a bigger conversation.
Oh yeah.
Of like how trauma is in people in different. It's like situations that are more privileged and less privileged, but also carry similar trauma.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
And how, like, situations can certainly influence things like mental illness and, like, addiction, but also...
Which this show is fucking wonderful at, by the way.
Yeah. But also there are, like, inherent and, like, genetic qualities to those things. And it's...
Which Blitz has all those boxes.
All the boxes, yeah. I mean, Stolas, too. Like, he grew up privileged, for sure, but, you know...
Well, we don't know. I was saying, too, that Blitz's dad very clearly has substance abuse issues.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Paimon and Cash Buxo ever, like, got together at the bar? Like, watching the game, like, no, I hate my child!
Paimon does not go to the bar. Paimon does not
he can smell
associate with the poor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's all we had for today. I mean, we have plenty more notes to get into next time, starting with Fizz appearing at Ozzy's, and then everything that comes after that.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to cut it off here, because, like, that's the very next bullet point. If we got into that, it would be, like, a 2-hour episode. I feel like we've given you guys enough 2-hour episodes recently.
Yeah. This is a more normal-sized episode. And yeah, we're still aiming to have the next episode out in 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll be filming. We'll be recording at your home, right?
This would be before that.
Okay, but after that, we'll be recording one. You guys don't need to know that. We'll be recording one in New Jersey.
Woo!
Represent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I don't know how many weeks are left of the term. I'm very discombobulated.
Well, I think there's 2 weeks left, but we would be recording 2 weekends from now, but that's when we're leaving. So we have to record before then.
Yeah. Sorry, us figuring out our technical issues.
Yeah. But yeah, next episode we'll talk more about Ozzy's, potentially the rest of Ozzy's, but maybe...
Yeah. It'll be either the rest or most of.
Yeah, we might... If you see another, like, 2-hour episode, then it's probably the rest of it. But, yeah. Follow the Instagram at AA Discussions for updates on episodes and other things and shenanigans, including the newsletter, which we'll figure out. And that will officially start
January, yeah.
January 1st, 2024 should be when the first newsletter goes out. So you'll be able to sign up for it before then. It'll be totally free. You can unsubscribe anytime. Updates about our series and our projects and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And hopefully, I don't know if we'll get a site going just for ours, but hopefully, I know I'm working on my personal site, and I'll have a lot of information on there about it. And so, at a minimum, we'll have that as a hub.
Yeah.
For all of this stuff. But also, we'll put it on our Linktree.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else we needed to plug?
I don't don't think so.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed listening. We are both, like we said, sick today, so sorry that it is a little more low energy than we usually are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, I think. Yeah. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.